On the phone, Jim from the Yardbirds. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, you put out 5 albums between 64 and 67. Which album did they only give you 1 week to record?
All of them.
Really? Was it all of them? Really?
No. The second album, that was recorded pretty quick.
Yeah.
Something about maybe 1 or 2 weeks.
And then when Jeff Beck was with you guys, do you agree with this? Shapes of Things coined the phrase psychedelic rock?
Well, I would say Shapes of Things was one of our best moments. A psychedelic rock, I can see what people mean. Had that psychedelic feeling to it. But I'm very proud of that song. I think it was probably our best effort.
I love For Your Love. Obviously, that tune has stood the test of time for sure.
It's interesting because most of the songs still stand up, and for old songs that old, 50 years old, they still sound good.
They really do.
And if they're played, they're played with a good band, as it is at the moment, they sound great.
What do you think about Train Kept a Rollin'? How does that make you feel when Aerosmith redoes it and Motorhead? I mean, really, how's that make you feel?
Well, it's nice because they're sort of honoring, they're honoring the band in a way. I suppose it's difficult when the people that like Aerosmith and have never heard of the Yardbirds, and they think that's subversion, But I think it's an honour to be for that to happen, for other bands to play your songs. I think that's a great honour.
Yeah, I would definitely think that was a fantastic honour as well. Now, back in the 60s, you actually started as a blues band, right?
Yes. We were just a cover band. We played songs by Howling Wolf and Chuck Berry, Slim Harpo, and Bo Diddley, and we loved that music. We heard that music coming into England on a very sort of underground level. It wasn't played on the radio or anything like that. We first of all heard those records, and then people like the Stones started playing that stuff and other bands, and then, we loved it, and we started to play it as well. And then we eventually took over from the Stones at the Crawdaddy Club in Richmond. That was their big residency that got them going, and it got us going too.
Right. So when you were playing in the UK, how did you get to America?
Well, yes, we by that time we did have an agent. We started off booking our own things, and then we gradually, got people on board. We had a manager called Giorgio Gamelski, who was the promoter of the Crawdaddy Club originally. And then we had an agent, and we got to America after, we recorded For Your Love, and I think For Your Love, Heart Full of Soul had already been in the charts by the time we went there.
Now, that particular song, did that upset Eric Clapton, and that's when he left because he didn't like the direction that the music was going in at that point?
Well, he didn't like the fact we were, playing a blues song or whatever. He thought that was too commercial, and the trouble was we couldn't really get our sounding any good in the British studios. It just didn't sound great, And we needed a song that was a bit different, and we all liked that song. We thought that was a moody song and original and a bit odd, and with the time change in it, we liked it.
Right.
Except him, he didn't like it, so he decided to leave. Jimmy Page. Yeah, Jimmy was invited to join us at the time, but he was playing all the session records in London, playing on all the studio
right
stuff, and he didn't want to join a band, but he recommended Jeff, who was his understudy.
Well, you certainly played with some fantastic musicians over the years.
Yeah, I've been very lucky. yeah, some great players, and that music was always a good platform for lead guitar. There was always a lot of space for lead guitar, and then really Jeff, with all his different sounds and his different influences, Jeff Beck, contributed a lot to our Yardbird sound. that we're famous for.
Any concerts stand out above the rest?
Well, not particularly. I sort of remember an odd one here and there where everything just gelled. I think there was one in Hollywood, I remember, in a club where everything really gelled, and it was a sort of great evening of music. We just really, it was a lovely sound, and we all played off each other, and that really stood out. And then, of course, playing to bigger crowds that we did now and then.
Right.
It wasn't quite like Zeppelin in the late 60s, but
right.
Now and then we had a great crowd. But those are always nice when you're playing a nice outdoor concert somewhere.
Yes. What about TV appearances?
Oh well, we did loads. Yeah, we did lots. We did the Dick Clark, one of those shows.
Yeah.
Shindig, I think. Shindig we did. Milton Berle show we did. One of the big New York ones. I can't remember what that one was called. We did a lot of TV.
That must have been something when they had all the dancers there and you would play. Oh goodness.
Yeah, we did one TV show, and it had the guy that was he played Ilya in The Man from U.N.C.L.E. You know, he's David McCullum. Mm-hmm. And he was on the show, and he was an English guy, and we chatted to him. And then when it came to the show, he did like a song and a dance.
My goodness.
Which was very unusual, to see like a big star like him suddenly do a routine,
Right.
Quite funny.
So you just released your autobiography?
Yes.
How long did that take you to write?
It took about 3 years.
Does your autobiography tell all of your rock and roll stories of out on the road?
Well, I don't really dish the dirt or anything
don't?
like that,
Come on, man.
It's not that outrageous, but it's interesting, and there's a lot of funny stories in there. I think it's a good read. You'll enjoy it, and you'll have a laugh at the same time.
Well, that's great. What do you think about how the music industry as a whole has changed over the years?
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? How, back in those days, you had to be a really good band and be able to play live because you were so used to playing venues every night, so you had to be a great band. And I don't know if there's so many real young bands. There's some, of course. Yeah, there's some good bands, but not quite the same. I think a lot of the music's created in the studio now, isn't it?
Exactly. You go hear a band live these days, and sometimes they don't even sound the same because it's so processed. Yeah,
I know. And it's all, some very good records, obviously, but it's all created in the studio, and it's the way we did it was all created live, and then we had to record it.
Yeah. Well, fantastic. Well, thank you so much for giving a call. You're going to be putting on a show with the Yardbirds at Turning Stone Casino Friday, May 4th. Have you ever been to the Turning Stone?
I've heard about it. I've heard somebody who lives near there told me, someone I know. But I heard it's a very nice venue.
Nice. It's an award-winning casino, and you're going to love it there. So have you ever been to Central New York before, Jim?
Oh, yes, I have. Yeah, I have. It's a lovely area, isn't it?
Yes. Have you ever had the Utica Greens?
What's that? Tell me, what's that?
The Utica Greens? Oh, it's a dish exclusive to Utica. It's greens with lots of garlic and oil, and everybody makes it different.
Oh, great. I'm going to put my order in right away.
Awesome. What about, have you ever had the turkey joints?
Well, I don't actually eat meat anymore, so I wouldn't have that.
Okay. Well, I'm picking on you, Jim, because turkey joints are a candy.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
I was thinking of some sort of turkey dish.
What about our Half Moon cookies?
Oh, yeah, I think I'll go for them. Yeah,
yes.
I like that. I've got a very sweet tooth.
And what about tomato pie? Have you ever had tomato pie?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, well, you better ask your friend to get on it and serve you up some Central New York food, okay?
Okay.
Or come and
That's
see me.
interesting.
You can come and see me at the studio, and I will give you all of our fantastic food.
Sounds good.
All right, well, thank you.
My mouth's watering now.
Yes. Jim, thank you so much for the call.
Okay, my pleasure.